We recently came back from the Bluewater Cruising Summit, and we got to tour and connect with other famous sailing families' boats, such as the Catamarans. And it changed how we think about preparing for life on the water. John booked this trip almost 6 months ago. It happened to fall on my birthday weekend. Quite honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect. Fast forward to the summit weekend, it turned out to be a great experience for our whole family. And the timing couldn't have been better. Right after we left for the summit, a winter storm hit Texas. The roads iced over and the school shut down. I kept on thinking how lucky we were to be enjoying the 75-degree weather in the Florida Keys.
So what exactly is a sailing summit? We're part of a club in the program that supports people who want to sail or who are already sailing through education, community, and shared experience. The community is incredibly tight-knit, and the program covers everything from preparation and exit planning to finances, boat buying, maintenance, provisioning, and even educating kids while traveling. For people like John and me who love to research and prepare before committing, this kind of learning is reassuring. One of the biggest highlights was touring over 20 boats, shown by owners, not salespeople. That made a huge difference. No one was trying to sell us anything. Instead, owners walked us through how they actually live on their boats, what works, what doesn't, and what they would do differently. We met families raising children on board while world schooling, empty nesters, part-time cruisers who spend part of the year sailing but another part on land, and retirees living full-time at sea. We toured catamarans ranging from about 44 to 60 feet, which helped us understand different layouts, systems, and ways people outfit their boats for long-term living.
Beyond the boats, we attended several speaker and breakout sessions. We joined a workshop to narrow down our preparation, a Bahamas cruising session, a homeschooling discussion, and I even took a free diving class. But what surprised me most wasn't just the information, it was the questions we were asked. We went in fairly open, thinking the Bahamas might be a natural starting point, something many people describe as a great training ground. But through conversations with mentors who have coached other families through this transition, we were challenged to think more carefully about what would actually work for us. We started rethinking not just where we might sail, but how, considering time in the Bahamas alongside parts of Asia, where we already spend a few months each year, what size boat would realistically support our family, and how to thoughtfully shape world schooling around our children's individual learning needs. We also had honest conversations about education, especially how to continue supporting kids who need more challenge and depth in their learning. Hearing from other families talk through the online resources and flexible programs they use reassured us that those opportunities don't disappear just because you choose a different path.
Hey, how do you feel about being in captain's seat?
Like it.
Growing up in families that made food from scratch shaped both of us. For me, it was my grandma who taught me how to cook. She raised her own chickens.
For me, it was my mother, and every Saturday night she would make pizza from scratch for all of us. Those type of experiences really taught us the value of building self-sufficient systems.
For over a decade now, we've had a vegetable garden in every house we've lived in. And you had a dream
Of having a homestead with our own animals, and even a super dream of having a self-sustaining aquaponics system.
All that is to say, whether it's keeping a sourdough starter alive or learning to provision food at sea, we genuinely enjoy that process.
I loved geeking out with people who know things like when local meat and produce is sold on remote islands, and how to time it so you're there on the right day to get the first pick. How provisioning decisions affect your departure window, when to inspect rigging yourself, and when it's smarter to bring in professionals to avoid costly repairs. We also connected with fellow scuba divers who talked about anchoring for 10, even 12 days near incredible dive sites. That kind of flexibility is only possible when your home is your boat and you control your own schedule, not when you're limited to a tour boat timeline. But what stayed with me most was the people. We met other families who, like us, want more time with their children before they grow up and move on to their own lives. They all emphasized the same thing, finding other kid boats along the route. Sailing doesn't have to be isolating. Kids can have peers, playmates, and friendships wherever you go. That sense of shared time, learning, and presence really stayed with me. So here are some clips from us touring the catamarans. It truly felt like a treat to be able to step inside so many different versions of what life on the water could look like. Sailing Satara. Owner's version, master bedroom. So it's pretty big. Like you walk into the room. There's even like shelving space, and then they have a little desk for working. And so what they say is owner's version. Usually this master cabin will take out the entire side of the boat, but they actually were able to have the second cabin on the other side, on this side, which is smaller. Solar and Starlink. Living room space is very spacious. All we just walked through was a 58. It was so nice. On to the next boat. Down to living space.
Where I can sit and do your hair. Oh, that could be the hairstylist place. Yeah.
And after the summit, our return flight home was delayed and eventually canceled because of the freeze in Texas. Thankfully, we were able to extend our stay in Key West for a few more days. Not a bad place to be stuck.
This trip gave us a renewed boost of motivation to finish our coursework and worksheets, but more than that, it helped us ask better questions. We didn't leave with all the answers, but we left ready for what comes next. Anywhere the wind blows, we go.